Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, we've got the Kylou Glass Gen 4 series. As this series starts to wind down, 3 races remaining. We're at Michigan International Speedway. Gonna be a great one. I'm Dean Doucette. Jared Carr not with me right now. We're hoping to see him join soon. But we got ourselves a great battle here, and we're going to get right into that point of it. We're going to get into these championship standings. And those don't look very very good right there. We'll try and get this sorted out here momentarily. Let's have another look here. Another go around. There we go. That's a little bit better. So Wesley Pistole only has a 4-point lead over Michael Walker. This is going to be highly interesting. Torgerson right in it, 15 back. Jason Ratliff right in this thing. Is he on the track tonight? I'm not sure if he's here or not. He may not be. It doesn't look like he is, so Jason will fall out. But Chris Owens, coming off a win last week, he's right in this thing. So there's a serious battle here. Pistole may control his own fate, but not by much over Walker. Can't wait to see how this thing plays out here tonight. And take a look at this track here, Michigan. Very interesting track, a little wider turns than we usually see, a little longer track, only 85 laps tonight, but it's a 2-mile track, so quite the distance here. And this is going to play interesting. I love the fact that, you know, in one particular, you can drive super deep into that corner. Be interesting to see how it plays out with these cars. And you talk about your keys to the race, you know, track position, always going to be key, especially in these cars. Pitting, going to, you know, paramount as always. And we always throw in patience, but, you know, I don't know here how much patience you can show. It's going to be really hard to make up time here tonight, I believe. We'll see how it all plays out. There's a look at Tom Lester out on the track at the AC Delco machine. Good looking car there is Buckshot Ripka. As we're having a little bit of server issue or something with SDK is acting a little slow here tonight. There is last week's winner out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the 26 of Chris Owens. Got a little bit of luck last week. Timely caution helped a little bit, but great driving as always. And you see right in front of him there, our points leader, Wesley Pistole. So this is going to be huge. Can't wait to get this thing going, see how it goes up. Warm up just coming to an end right now, and these boys getting ready to grit up and go racing. Great look around Michigan. Of course, you know, me being Canadian, always searching for the Canadian flag. It's always nice to see. I don't know what the Americans think of that, but, you know, it's nice of them to put it out there. I mean, it's not on Canada's land, so kind of cool to see for a Canadian boy. And, you know, I've been asked to sing the national anthem a few times, but I don't think that's going to happen. And, you know, the national anthem, we'll be bringing that back next season when we get all that that ironed out and together. Of course, we had the carnage of 2025 when I lost all my files. That's a story for another night, though. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. On the point, Michael Walker. How big is that? He needs a big race. He'll start up front with a time of 38.279. Last week's winner, Chris Owens, will be on the outside of row 1. Ross Weiss and Tom Lester will start in row 2, and Tom's been doing real good in this series. Good to see him up in 4th. Lance Buckshot Ripka will start on the inside of row 3 with Jason Ratliff, so he is here. The Rifleman on the outside of row 3. Ralph Nolan and Wes Pistole, your points leader, will start in row 4. Starting 9th, Claus Williams. He'll have Michael Fleming on his outside. It's Tom Ashley and Troy Torgerson in row 6. And you can find your favorite driver starting a little further back. Maddie Watkins back in 24th. We'll get a look there. Maddie, newcomer out here. Going to be good to see how that goes. So a nice 27 car field out here tonight. Michael Walker leading them around. Walker and Owens, Weiss and Lester. We're about to go green flag racing here in the Kylou Glass Gen 4 Series live from Michigan. Good looking start by everybody. Owens putting a challenge on the outside. Not sure he can beat Walker through 1 and 2. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. See Weiss a little loose off the corner. There's a 95 of Ralph Nolan down there on the inside. Lester trying to power around on the high side. Owens already on the attack. So Chris Owens down to the inside. Walker closes it off though. Love that line that Lester just took right down there on the yellow. You see these cars fanning out 2 and 3 wide down the straightaway. Tom Ashley making moves underneath the Torgerson. And you can see the different lines, people all the way through the track, loving it. High line kind of prevailing here right now. Walker maintains the lead. Owens pushing them. They're setting a torrid pace. I don't know. This is maybe making Walker a little uncomfortable. He's not known to get out here and set the pace like this. Jason Ratliff back here lurking in the 55. The Rifleman always tough. He'll be tough tonight too. Torgerson's already picked up a couple. He's got Tom Ashley down on the inside. Ashley gets back in line. Tracy Powers taken to the high side. Looked like Fleming got a hair loose there, so Powers right around. He's picked up a couple of spots. Further back, the Toadman's up 3. And Maddie Watkins, who's having internet issues here in that 33, has picked up 4 spots. Right now, though, Paul Travis driving underneath. Back up front, Walker, big challenge from Owens. Great hard racing early on. Both guys got to be careful. Don't want to burn up your stuff in this fight. Good old-fashioned battling here at Michigan. It's not only for the lead, there's battles around the track. Great corner there by both drivers. You see that high side continues to hold Owens at bay. Lester right there lurking. Again, the high side prevailing on that lap. I think Owens going to have to vacate that maneuver and wait for later. Further back, there's Pistole, your points leader, working on Weiss. So Pistole down on the bottom, Weiss up high. Good hard racing in here. Up front, Walker has separated. Owens second, Lester third. Ripka's up one into fourth. Ratliff up one. And look at Ratliff surge in the center of the corner. My goodness, where'd that little burst come from? But he breaks loose. Now he's in danger of being freight trained. He goes from gaining one. He's going to lose two, maybe three right here. It could get worse here as the freight train is engaged. Trying to hold on. The rifleman down on that low side. Look at all those cars lining up high. This is where it'll show a little bit. Weiss sweeps down in front of Torgerson. Torgerson back up high. Intense racing here. The rifleman trying to hang on. He does. He slips into line there. Great job by him, powering through and getting in front of Pistole. Now Pistole's got a decision to make. Where does he want to drive? Matty Watkins already on pit road. Not sure what happened. We got the Toad Man. Something going on with him as well. And he does not look well. Coming back on the track. Let's get a replay here. There is the Toad Man. There's Paul Travis underneath. And oh, contact! I'm not sure he knew Travis was there. Very, very interesting to be certain. We'll see what happened to Matty Watkins as well. It doesn't look like we're going to get anything from Matty here, so we'll just move on with that. Apparently, Matty's struggling a little bit. And we're under caution. I'm sorry we have missed a caution. Looks like that incident from the Toad Man brought out a caution. So I didn't think it did, but apparently somehow, some way, caution come out late there. So everybody will likely be coming on to pit road here. And this is interesting. Any fuel mileage strategies or anything will be broken at this point. Here they come. Lap 11 of 85, the field coming down pit road. Oh, and there's Travis spun on entrance. Someone got into him or something. Let's get a replay and see what happened on that. My goodness. So here we go. We're just cruising around, going to pit road. And right here, looks like the 94 got that beautiful wind tunnel TV logo, cuts in and gives him a shot. I do believe that was George Dibble. It was. Oh, the humanity. Everybody coming off in order at the front. There's the Bulldog Adam Newton out here racing tonight. Got that U.S. Army machine. Really nice to see Adam back out on the track. Know he's dealing with some personal issues and a lot on his shoulders. Always good to get back on the track and forget about it all for a couple hours. Our hearts and prayers are with him, of course. There's Scott Olson, Tony Ratliff, Jason Brantley, Fleming, Royce Valley, Spear out here, Robert LaPrime, Dibble, Rachel Hunt. Of course, she's going through some stuff herself. She's been out here a lot lately, though, so she's feeling a little bit better. Lap 13 of 85 in an all-important race. Guys in the battle for the points, all up front right now. These are big points. Walker trying to get a point, perhaps for leading a lap, perhaps for leading the most laps. He's trying to get it all. He knows Owens has kind of come out here with fresh rubber and challenge him. And we've seen what happened. The low side could not get it done earlier on. Will Walker try to get up there and establish that high line? We will see. As I mix myself a little cocktail here in the booth, I encourage you all to have a cocktail with me. Don't forget your ice. Very important. All right, pace car leading them around. Just about ready to go back green flag racing. Here we go. Green flag waves and they're, oh no, a bad start down there. Looked like Spear and Dibble jumped or something, or they didn't go in front of him, but they hang on to it. That's great work back there of not wrecking. Another little log jam here around Nolan. So Nolan Jr. has got Tracy Powers, Jason Brantley around him. Craziness here on the restart. Out front, Walker's established that spot. Here comes Torgerson. He's up 8 spots, looking for another. Fighting with the Rifleman. The Rifleman gonna let him go or can't do anything about it. One of the two. And he's into the wall. Lester's gonna go by. So the Rifleman tight on exit. Drives her right into the wall. My goodness. Owens has closed back in. Crazy little beginning there. There's a look at Pistole, your points leader.
The yellow flag is
and
out.
we're back under yellow. And oh boy, they're tearing them up back here. Pieces of Fleming's car all over the track. Olsen involved. Nolan's involved. Let's get a look at it. There. Oh, and it looked like net code, but you know, when I don't ever use netcode as an excuse, it looked to me like Weiss just drove up into the 61 here. Let's go slow motion on entrance, and you can just see here, you know, Olsen following the car up on the high side in front of him. We should be following Ripka. Instead, he's drifting up the track. Into Olsen he goes, and that is unfortunate to say the least. Yeah, there's the wreck up ahead. You can see we go full speed here. And carnage does ensue. Car is spinning. Watch the Toad Man. He's getting on those brakes. How? Oh, and holding on. Him and Dibble both holding those brakes. Great job there. Give the Toad Man a hard time there a week ago or so. That was really, really good there. Good braking. So we're back under caution here. Status quo up front. And Doyle's back on the Shvevkov. I don't even know how to. Is that right? Shvevkov vodka from the Ukraine. All right. And he's putting it on the 41. And I think I agree. I'm not sure who was in. Olsen was a 61, and yes, Weiss the 41. I think definitely that's the way I would see it, but I'd have to look at it from several angles. Doyle, I don't know if you've done it before. And pit road right now, we got several takers and several people not taking, so that's interesting. But anytime you evaluate a wreck, trust me when I say you need multiple views from both people's angles and perspectives before you can make a judgment. We make some rash judgments up here in the booth. The part of it's entertainment, part of it is arrogance. But yeah, to assess them correctly, you definitely need multiple views. So this is highly interesting. 5 laps, some of those under caution for sure. So maybe a lap or two fresher tires, I would call it, starting with Lester. Hunt, Rachel Hunt, first off of pit road. So very, very interesting. But Hunt was a gas and go, as was Gilly actually in front of her. So Gilly and Hunt go gas and go. I don't know why you would do that, to be honest, under these circumstances, but maybe there's a benefit. And then you got Lester. Then you got people who've been fixing some damage, like Weiss, Valley, Whiting, Nolan. And it looks like some people still on pit road. Fleming, Tony Ratliff, Tracy Powers. You got Jason Spear out here. It looks like he may be a lap down as he's scored right now. At least a lap down. Very interesting. So early cautions are the story here so far. A look at the Kylou Glass on the bumper of Jason Brantley. Love our sponsors here. Kylou Glass, another valued member of that group. Go check them out on Facebook. You can find them a page on there, and you can find them for all your glass blown needs. You know, they do a bunch of stuff beyond bongs and one-hitters. Lots of other things as well. So go check out Kylou Glass. All right, pace car off one more time. Here we go. Walker and Owens set to their rivalry. Torgerson's up 9 into third now. Can he get something done on this restart? Perhaps. He gets underneath the Owens. Can he surge through the corner and take second place? Wow, Owens, what a run the 26 got. He's not to be trifled with. He's got a massive run, and he's trying to go to the high. Can't. So he has to go to the low. He'll go down there. Can Walker hold him off? I don't think he can. Big send by the 26, but here comes Walker winding it up. Can he close the door? He does, and he gets the run. So even with all of that, Owens could not quite get it done. Walker doing a great job. He knows how important clean air is. He's going to fight for it, and he's doing a great job. I think he'll win this battle. I think Owens' opportunity has come and gone. Great job here, and you can see the massively different angles they're taking. What a fight. They've been doing it all night. A little further back, looks like Tom Ashley and Claus Williams. Claus gonna win that battle. Back up to the front. Wow, Owens still trying to get through. Gets a little loose. Can't get the power to stick. Looked like Walker ran a touch high that time, but he's still going to power off from the high. I mean, I don't think Owens can pass him. I really think he should give it up and fall in line and save his stuff. But as long as he's not overdriving, he'll be all right. Further back, there's Jason Ratliff working the bottom still. This time he does get by Pistole, so he's found a little something. Owens with another attempt. This time I think he's fallen back. And he will. So Walker holds him off. The whole time Torgerson was just running his line, saving his stuff, creeping in on him. Everything getting sorted out. You got to go back to where Rachel Hunt down on the low side with Valley up high. Rachel making that pass. The one looking pretty stout back here. Back in 17th, up 5 spots right now. Let's go on board with Rachel Hunt. You can see a lot of cars fanning around the track. Different lines for everybody. I love it. She goes up into that third groove. She'll get a nice run off the corner here. Let's see how she attacks one. Should stay on the throttle deep into the corner. And you can see just a little lift, maybe down to 80% throttle there. And she's back on it. She's going to get a nice run. The Toad Man right in front of her into the wall. That's going to slow him up. So some good battling back here. A little further up, you got a massive battle. The Bulldog almost in the middle between Claus Williams and Dibble, but he comes out on top. Dibble, by the way, up 17 spots here on the night. Wow. Newton in a battle with Claus Williams. Claus on the high side. Newton down low. Claus loving it. He loves the high side. He hates it when a track doesn't allow you to run up there. Tonight you can, and he's taking advantage. Up front, the battle resumes. Owens and Walker. And Owens gave that up pretty quick that time. I don't blame him, but I like he's running down low. This might play well on the long run for him. Depends on how hard he's pushing. He's got two tough ones right behind him. Torgerson and Ratliff are coming. And I mean, you got to watch out, especially for the rifleman. No slight to Torgerson. I know Torgerson, a hell of a driver. But, Ratliff has established himself as the long-run driver in this league. Right now, they're both coming in on our leaders who may have overdrove early fighting each other. Those four stay in line for now. Your points leader, Wes Pistole, up into 5th now. Tom Ashley up 5 into 6. Ripka's dropped back a couple. Williams has fought off Newton, so he's come up. He's into 8th. Newton's up 7 into 9th. And in 10th, Jordan Dibble up 17. So a lot of big movers here. Brantley's up 7. Travis up 9. So all of these guys making serious headway. Back up front. Now Owens has a high side. Walker's down low. What a move here. This could be huge for Owens, and he knows it. Walker's in trouble. He's got to find his way back in line. You can just see there Torgerson surge almost to his outside. Now he'll get a big run off the corner. Walker in trouble. He's likely going to fall to 4th here if he can't slide into an opening. Jason Spear out in the chat with the old BF. I'm scared to ask, Jason. There is the rifleman. He's going to move Walker back to 4th, so he's up to 3rd. So now, Owens your new leader, Torgerson in 2nd, Ratliff 3rd. These guys all going to be very hard to beat. Of course, you got Walker, then Pistole. You know Pistole's going to come late as well. This is going to really be interesting as we go along. I think Ripka took it easy early. Is he starting to learn about the long run? So Owens doing a great job. Remember, he won last week. Momentum, a real thing with race car drivers. They get on hot streaks. They're tough to beat. Not many laps on these tires as of yet. Tom Ashley up 5 into 6th. He's looking good. There's Brantley. He's got Dibble on his outside. Looks like Dibble trying to get that momentum and wrap that high side. But look at Brantley down low. He is starting to make headway on the low side. This could be something. If you can run the low side for long periods, you can make headway. Back here, mammoth battle. Including our newcomer, Matty Watkins is right in this thing, in that 33 car. Now several laps down, or one lap down for Matty. So, hoping for a caution and a lucky dog perhaps. There is Jason Spear, who I thought chimed in the chat, but was in his car. I'm not sure what's going on. Good hard racing back here. I mean, these guys really going at it. And there's a look at Tony Ratliff. He's further back. Spear is a lap down with Matty. So some other people in this group, that looks like and Spear into Matty there. Woo! Man, oh man. And look at the Toad Man bobbing and weaving around. Holy smokes. And there goes Brantley. Brantley's down off the track into the grass. Brantley in trouble. And you see he's got damage on that front end. Wow. Back up front, Owens, Torgerson, Ratliff, and Michael Walker getting away. Ripka now making a move on Tom Ashley. He's looking to take 6th spot away. He'll do that. Claus Williams creeping into that picture as well. Remember, he loves the high line, so he should be good here tonight. Let's go ahead and go on board with Claus Williams and get a feel for this high line. And of course he'll dive low. Why wouldn't he? So Claus looking for the overtake from the low side. And it looked like he cleared him. So Claus Williams up to 7th. How about that? He'll go right back to that high line. Big battle beginning up here as Jason Ratliff loose on exit there, but keeps the power down. He's trying to get around Torgerson. I think he will get there. Torgerson just going to give it to him or get it taken from him. So the Rifleman surging forward here on lap 37 of 85. These 4 settle in. There's Pistole, Ripka, Williams, Ashley, Newton, the Bulldog in 9th. You got Dibble in 10th here. We are on board with George Dibble. You see Weiss wiggling and wobbling off the corner. There's Royce Valley at the back of this group behind Travis. Everybody settles in for that long part of the run now. We look back at our pit box here. So lap 16 for some, lap 11 for others. So all those guys who got tires, nobody's doing nothing. Weiss, the first. He is in 11th place. He pitted on lap 16. Then Lester, he pitted on 17. You got Valley, Nolan, basically everybody back here. Nobody has passed anybody who pitted on lap 11, except for Herb Ashley, who's back in 19th. He pitted on lap 11. He's not doing so well. Everybody else, no problems out here on the old tires. Very interesting. Rocking that lower line. Will that pay off as this run goes along? So what do we say, lap 11? So we're 30 laps in. We got 44 to go. So they got to go at least like 7 more to make it to halfway from their pit stop. Meanwhile, Ratliff starting to close in just a little bit. Walker hanging tough. Torgerson right there. Let's go on board with Troy Torgerson. Of course, you see on the helmet there, Navy. Got the American flag. I'm saluting right now. You see that RPM gauge will go on here as they get down close to the corner. They're really winding these machines up. Pistole and Ripka still trying to get up here. Looks like Ripka trying to help Pistole get up there or get him loose, one of the two. Meanwhile, Claus Williams and Adam Newton are coming forward. Newton looking stronger and stronger as this run goes along. He's cutting that low line. Nobody else really using it the way he is. A look from our chopper cam. Newton low, Williams high, right behind Ripka. And you see, Newton's getting the power down off the corner from the low lane, something we haven't seen a whole lot of. So he's doing a nice job. I think he'll get Williams right here. He pretty much has him. And you can see there on entry, Newton's going to surge up. Well, here comes Williams. It looks like he will get, in fact, oh, and he cuts down, so he got loose there. It's going to cost him. Could have been trying to overdrive that exit just a little bit. Now he'll get clear, so the two will be up into seventh. The Adam Newton, the Bulldog, looking to make some moves late in this run. Up front, still Owens. Ratliff has closed into a few car lengths behind. These four pretty much status quo. Torgerson fading ever so slightly. Pistole, Ripka, there is Newton. Expect Newton to get up here and try and mix it up with these two in front of him. I love the angles he's taking, that low exit. He is not getting loose like the other guys. There he goes. He'll take to the low side. Ripka, though, surges through the corner. He'll have to almost brake in the middle, though. A great corner there from Ripka. Newton will try one more time. He gets his nose down there. Pretty good in the center, but again he breaks loose. Just trying too much, too fast. Gotta show patience here. No doubt that's one of our keys to the race. Owens and Ratliff. Owens has separated again. So ebbs and flows. Walker's starting to come back. George Dibble, what a run for him. Up 18 spots into ninth. Looking solid. There's Tom Ashley in the top 10. Weiss back here. And it looks like Newton has surged here, or is it Ripka? Ripka making a move on Pistole. Newton trying to follow him through. They're almost three wide here as they battle here at Michigan. So Pistole is falling ever so slightly. This is not expected at all. He's so good on the long run. Newton is through, so put Ripka into fifth, Newton into sixth now. Newton continues his march as he's trying to make short work of Lance Ripka here now. The two continues. down into one. Can he get it done? Eric Whiting hits pit road here on lap 49. This time looks like he got tight on entry. Ripka surges back on the outside. Newton looking for a big run. Don't think he has enough. He does not. So it looks like he's way better in this corner, not so much in the other. And you see there, he just slides right on through. He is so good in 3 and 4 right now. Claus Williams into pit road. So the 16 comes in. He starts things for our front runners. Whiting was already on pit road. He's coming off. Someone else was coming in. I didn't see who though. So lap 50, 35 to go. This is pretty much middle of the road. You expect these leaders to go a little bit long here tonight. Newton, probably the fastest car on the track right now. Lap time doesn't show it. He was fighting. He's in traffic. Let's check at the line here. A 6.3, a 39.63 for Newton. A 6.9 for Owens. So he is indeed faster than the leader. Not by a whole lot that lap though. There is Williams merging back out. Tom Lester high. Jason Spear, he's a lap down up there. There's the Toad Man in 13th. And our leaders are all in. What's going on? They're all coming in together. I don't know if we ever seen this. Ripka stays out. Weiss stays out. Valley and Lester. But a whole whack of cars are on pit road here on lap 52. We'll stay here and watch these pit stops and see if any mistakes are made. You see Dibble at the back, out of his stall. Here comes the Rifleman. He's going to beat Owens. The Rifleman beats everybody off of pit road. How about that? Jason Ratliff with a pit stop of the ages. Let's look at this pit stop. A 16.1. So fuel is the big thing. Bigger tank here. Usually stop somewhere in that 14-second range. Not in these cars. But he took a little bit less, got out early, got himself the lead for people who pitted. Ripka's in along with Valley, so he vacates the lead. Ross Weiss, now your new race leader. Crazy, crazy stuff on pit road. I can't believe that they allowed the Rifleman to get out in front. He is going to be so hard to beat now. Owens looking to surge forward quickly. Look at those. He is really pushing that machine. Right now it's Weiss. Lester about 5 seconds back. Then Nolan. Rachel Hunt. Michael Fleming. And here comes Weiss into pit road now. So Weiss is on. And then you get down to 6, which will be 5th or 4th. Looks like Ralph Nolan's in. Rachel Hunt's in. Wow, Fleming. So could be fuel concerns out here. This will be interesting considering Jason Ratliff kind of short fueled. Does he have enough fuel? I don't know. I mean, you would think so. There's only 30 to go. Owens right to his bumper. Chris Owens looking for 2 in a row. Comes underneath the Rifleman. He'll push it down into 1. Trying to take the lead away. Ratliff on the high side trying to hold him off. Can Owens get the power down and slide up? He can. What a move by the 26 of Chris Owens. Rifleman will try and not switch it up with a crossover here. I'm not sure he can. I mean, the low line better in 3 and 4. It looks like he can. Owens trying to come up and under. He can. What a battle. Owens all over him. Lester hits pit road. All this battling and Walker closing in on these two. Owens low, Rifleman high. They are battling, my goodness. The Bell South machine of Chris Owens will surge ahead one more time. Oh, and the Rifleman gets a piece of the wall. That'll slow his momentum. He won't be able to get there again. So Owens back out front. Walker has been creeping in this whole time. Has this helped him? Torgerson in fourth, just a ways behind. Claus Williams.
And Dean, you can tell these guys are starting to really work together here and start to make a move toward the front here.
Wow, this is getting so exciting. We've woken up Jared Carr. Jared Carr, welcome to the booth, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes real life cars have some issues and put you behind the 8 ball. So here we are. We made it, but we're a little behind schedule, unfortunately, Dean.
That's quite all right, my friend. Happy to see you. The voice is getting thin. I'm running out of booze and a few other things.
Definitely, and trying to get caught up on everything going on. I mean, this is a great battle between these top 3 right here. And Dean, this is points implications. We're getting down to the end of this season, and Michael Walker is in this thick. So is Ratliff, so is Chris Owens, and they are the top 3. And Torgerson's not too far back. Lap time's looking good. And it's really going to be a 4-car race here before long.
Yeah, and it's been an interesting one. We've seen Owens go out hot and still maintain. We've seen the Rifleman close in, but then fade a little bit at the end. And we had early carnage, couple of wrecks as well. So there's been a lot going on here. But the one thing remains constant. You brought it up. I mean, the cream rises to the top, just like the Macho Man always said.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Randy Savage there. But I mean, really, Michigan's such a great racetrack, and I haven't seen how this race has kind of gotten to this point, unfortunately. But I can tell you, it is a track that really gives you a lot of opportunities as a driver to kind of find your groove. And you're seeing right now, Michael Walker kind of working over Ratliff, and I've noticed over the last couple of laps, Walker is arcing down a little bit later in the corner and trying to get that run off the corner, but right there it's causing the car to get a little bit pushed loose off of turn number 2, and that's allowing Jason Ratliff to kind of start to increase that gap up a little bit.
So very interesting thing occurred here, and green flag stops, Jared. The entirety, about 8-9 cars, all the leaders came in together. And off of pit road, Ratliff was in third. He came off of pit road first. I bring up my pit board here. The times weren't that much different, but we look at Ratliff at a 16.1 compared to a 16.8, a 16.4, a 16.6. I think what happened here was, and his pit road time, by the way, a 44.7 to a 46.3 for Owens. Unbelievable. Now, Owens did, quickly catch back up to him and pass him here. But, I mean, I was just so impressed with that pit stop, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great job. I mean, and sometimes, you just hit the box and hit your marks right. And that gives you that advantage, right? Well, and we've seen that happen so many times this year.
The other thing I was going to bring up, and I said too many things, I forgot where I was going, but the fuel mileage factor. Did he short pit, Jared? Remember, they got bigger tanks. Did he short fuel? How many laps can you do here at Michigan? Don't really have that information. I think they all should be good, Jared, but I'm surprised, quite frankly, someone didn't go much less on the fuel.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other cars, and typically, you're talking about 40 laps in the Xfinity car. So this vehicle, you're talking probably 45, I would think, is kind of the number we're looking at. Don't know that for sure, obviously, but I would think that 45 is probably that number that you're kind of thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like they got more than enough fuel to make it here. I mean, they only had 30 to 35 to go from pit stop, so they should be fine. Right now, we look in on George Dibble here. What a run he's having, Jared. He's up 21 spots into 6th place.
Yeah, probably one of George Dibble's best runs of the year. I mean, you look at his season, and he's been caught up in a lot of wrecks so far this year. His best finish, 11th back at Atlanta, the old Atlanta, by the way. So he kind of likes these type of tracks where the surface is kind of worn out. And, he has done a great job. Just stay out of trouble, run your race, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the top 10. And he's ahead of Lance Ripka there by about a half a second. Royce Valley a little bit further back behind him. So Dibble having a really good race.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's raced his way here, Jared. This is no pit road magic or anything. He is looking really good. He's really loving Michigan here tonight. And of course, Claus Williams right in front of him. We know he likes to highline. He's not really on it right now. I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you. I thought he'd be ripping up close to the wall.
Well, I was watching the battle there, and Dibble has been quicker the last few laps than Claus Williams. And Dibble's run a little bit different line. He's kind of getting a little bit of air on that nose, and it's given him a great run off the corner. Right here off turn 2. I mean, that is a great run down the back straightaway off of turn 2. Look at how much he closes up the gap, and he's been closing that gap down every time going these corners, and now he's just kind of waiting. And now he's going to run that middle groove, get those left sides right on the seam, and now he's going to power out of the corner. And Claus Williams, he's having to turn the wheel late and later and later. And look at how loose Williams gets off turn 4 there.
Yeah, I mean, you spotted it there. That run through Alpha 2 in particular, it's like he found the little hill, the slope, and he's running downhill and getting all this speed. Here, we're going to be a little tougher. Very hard to pass low to car high here. With a little 3 and 4, a little bit easier, Jarrett.
Absolutely, and what's going to happen here is Dibble, I think, is quicker than Claus Williams, and now Ripka is in this battle. Here comes Dibble up to the high side. He's going to the wall. I love this move. You're not going to be able to pass guys on the inside unless you have a big tire advantage. Dibble knows that. He's going to go to the high side.
Yeah, man, he got up to the wall so far. He was in those marbles. That was scary there for a minute for George Dibble. We'll see what he does here. He's going to stay up there, so Dibble's really listening. He's trying something. He looks so comfortable here tonight. He's going to get a massive run out of this corner. I think he's going to take this spot away.
He got just a little bit loose as he came off the wall there. That aero effect kind of pushed the downforce a little bit forward, and he got loose off turn 4 there. But here he goes. Now, Claus Williams, very smart. He probably doesn't like running up there, Dean. It doesn't look like his car is very comfortable, but he's got to block the momentum from Dibble.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. So good battles there. Up front, Owens still holding off Ratliff, running slightly quicker. Walker fading a little bit. Torgerson still in it. Then they go back to Williams and Dibble. There's Ripka. Don't forget about him. How about Royce Valley? What a run he's having, too. Up 11 spots into 8th here tonight.
Yeah, and then you got a little bit further back, Wesley Pistole. Not probably having the night he was looking for coming into tonight's race as the point leader, but a solid run in the top 10. And then you got Todd Gilly just on the outside of the top 10, kind of chasing him down, actually.
Yeah, how about Gilly? I mean, Gilly, I don't know if it was with you or not, but I called him out on a bad braking and during a wreck. Well, we had a wreck earlier, and boy, he got on those brakes, Jared. He got that thing mowed down, and it saved his life. And here he is now, up 10 spots in 10th.
Claus Williams got super loose off of turn number 2, Dean, and that opened the door. Ripka's going to go by. Dibble's going to go by. So put George Dibble up into 5th position, but now Ripka trying to make a move. They're 3 wide off turn 4.
Holy cow, 3 wide. They get it sorted out just in the nick of time. Dibble up into the top 5, up 22 spots. What a run for the 94.
Yeah, he is having the race of his life right here tonight. And in the back of the mirror there, Dean, you look at 16 laps to go, and Ripka is all over. Williams fighting back with Ripka. That's good news for Dibble, who opens up the gap just a little bit by 2 car lengths.
Yeah, I think Ripka will eventually win this battle. Hard to say, though. Williams fighting for everything he's got.
And that's going to bring Royce Valley into the picture, as well as Wes Pistole, as well as Todd Gilly. Those guys can see each other now. I mean, Royce Valley has a sniff of the draft off these guys in front of him.
Well, right now, points-wise, Walker in third, Jared. Okay, we got our points leader, Wes Pistole, back in ninth. He's staring in front of him.
Oh, Williams almost wrecked it. Sorry, Dean. He almost wrecked it off turn 2.
That's no problem. He is Wes Pistole is staring 4 cars right in front of him. We're fighting that we just been talking about, and those are 4 points. Remember, Walker in several races in the closing laps, Jared, has picked up several spots. Can Pistole do what Walker's been doing? These are important points here with only 2 more races remaining.
Yeah, you think about the stats, right? We talk about every week or every now and then at least the closing pass rate as Dibble gets loose off turn 2. That's going to open the door for Ripka. These guys running the high line, they put a lot of stress on that right rear tire. And now Ripka alongside Dibble. Dibble's going to concede the position, it looks like. And now Royce Valley is in this mix of battle. But,
yep.
Dean, just to go back to the closing passes, that is a stat. That is passes inside the top 10 with 10 or less laps to go. Michael Walker has made 19 of those. Wes Pistole has made 13 of those. Those are the first and fourth place drivers. You have Jason Brantley that is actually the second best, which shout out to Brantley. Shout out to Tracy Powers, who's also in that mix as well. But Michael Walker is the closer in this league, Dean. Can Ross Weiss find 4 positions here tonight to retain the point lead?
Yeah, not Weiss, Pistole, but yes.
Pistole.
Yeah, Pistole, I mean, this is so interesting. I love those stats. Right now, Valley right on the back of Claus Williams. Pistole's been closing in here. So with 12 to go, can he get up here and at least pick up 1 or 2 spots? It could be whether he's in the lead or not. Walker also staring at Jason Ratliff right in front of him. Can he get up and steal one of these closing passes one more time? All along, Owens leading this thing, looking solid, Jared. He runs hard early, and he's the fastest late. I mean, that's a winning combination, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's all he needs to do. I mean, you look at the points, and Chris Owens, he's not out of the point race, but he needs every point he can get. He's 24 points back coming into tonight's race, 3 races to go, so he's going to have to gain an average of 8 points every race, right? And leading the most laps and winning races will do that. And Jason Ratliff, missing some races this year, has been one of the dominant cars of this series, Dean. He also needs every point he can get. So does Troy Torgerson. So there's a lot of guys that are kind of pushing on the front foot here tonight, Dean, and it's made a really compelling race.
It has, and Pistole just picked up one of those points. He's gotten around Claus Williams, so Pistole up into 8th. That's right where he started. In front of him, Royce Valley, who's up 12 spots. Can he get another? I think he might. We looking on Walker. Walker continues to inch his way in on the Rifleman.
Yeah, if the race ended right now, that would be Michael Walker would be the point leader by 1 point heading out of this race without any bonuses calculated in there. So that is tight. So Michael Walker, if he hasn't led a lap yet tonight, Dean, he's going to need to lead one. I think he wants to get up there. I don't think he's going to get up there and be able to do that. Okay, so
he was your pole sitter tonight.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, he did a nice job on the pole, led a bunch early on, held off Owens for a long time, but it just didn't work out in the late goings. Owens surging forward. And then you've seen Jason Ratliff come from 3rd to 1st in green flag stops, all on the same lap. That was interesting, but Owens quickly overtook him within 2-3 laps.
Dibble might have got the wall off turn 2, and Royce Valley is there into turn 3. So Dibble, the Dibble dog, he had a lot of speed there, but inside 10 to go, that 94 car starting to give up just a little bit on George.
Yeah, and well, Pistole back here
my
licking
goodness.
his chops, but Pistole's got Williams and Weiss coming into the picture here, so lots of things can happen before this one's through. Your leader, Chris Owens, 8 laps to go here at Michigan in this Kylou Glass Gen 4 series.
Yeah, and Ross Weiss, you know, he was on talked about on a podcast this week, Dean, and maybe he was rubbing that couch, getting some good luck that Chase Briscoe left over on it. So, I don't. It's a little late in the race to get into the details now, but Ross Weiss really fast late in this run.
All right, so Weiss apparently on a podcast. We'll have to get that info out there one of these days.
I don't think he was personally on there. I think he was talked about on there.
Ah.
So there you go. The teardown with Gluck and Bianchi there. So.
All right. Go check that out, folks. Weiss right in the battle here. Pistole trying to hold off Claus Williams and Weiss. These are important points. In front of them, Dibble surging back on Valley now. They go side by side through the corner, and you can see the ebbs and flows of these cars. One surges forward, then the other.
Yeah, and that's going to be the important thing is you have to get that momentum at the right time, right? And here comes Ratliff. Jason Ratliff loose off turn 2. Michael Walker to the outside down the back straightaway. Battle for second now on the table.
The closer at it again. The 22 looking to surge forward late and take an all-important point. Jason Ratliff trying to hang on to the machine. Can't put the power down. Michael Walker drives right around him into second. That's another closing pass for the 22.
Huge pass, and Ratliff just got down into the throttle middle of 1 and 2 there, Dean, and he just couldn't get the power down. Car just got away from him, and Michael Walker, really solid, was able to do it. Can Jason Ratliff come back? Because Jason, he needs every point that he can get as well, and he definitely doesn't want to finish behind Michael Walker or Wes Pistole.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cars in the field, but all the points men fighting for a title are all up here in your top 5 to top 10. Ripka back in 5th. There's Valley, Dibble. There's Pistole. Pistole starting to get away a little bit. Actually, him and Weiss are both getting away from Claus a little bit. So Claus is falling back now to 10th.
Yeah, 9th. 10th. You are correct. Sorry, apologies. Nolan now, Ralph Nolan passing Todd Gilly for 11th there at the line. But here comes Ross Weiss. He has been the quicker car of this next 3 or 4 cars, Dean. And here comes Ross on the bottom trying to make something happen.
Yeah, you had a feeling Weiss going to come through. Dibble, something happened with
Loose.
Dibble. He got loose or something. So now they're all closing on him. These are big, big points here for Pistole. And he surges.
And what you don't want is to get caught in a wreck, right, Dean? I mean, Dibble down there to the bottom, pinching Reese, blocks Weiss down to the bottom. Pistole's going to the high side. He's got help from Claus Williams.
Yeah, Dibble, be careful, my friend. Do not throw away a great run here tonight. He's down on the bottom. Weiss takes behind Williams, and they're both trying to harass Wes Pistole.
And I'll tell you what, Dean, you know, big props, and maybe Pistole feels differently, but from the broadcast booth, these guys are not letting Wes Pistole get the position. They are fighting him. They don't care about his point battle. They care about finishing in a good spot, having good momentum, Dean. And Claus Williams has cooled his tires off, and he is back on the bumper of that 98 machine.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's racing, right? And they are out here doing just that. Doesn't matter what you want. We all want it. Look at this. Weiss surging on the bottom. Williams comes from the middle down to the bottom. They look 3 wide. Weiss gets loose. Wow, he almost lost it. The tide machine gathers it back up. So that's 1 averted for Pistole. Can he hang on here? We're on the final lap for Chris Owens.
Still a little bit tight through 3 and 4. He had to let off the gas. That allows Klaus Williams back to him. Don't look now. Ralph Nolan is on the back of this little train here. Probably won't have enough time to make an influence. Dibble falls outside the top 10. Unfortunate for the 94 machine. Here we go as Klaus Williams alongside Wes Pistole. These are crucial points, Dean.
They are so crucial, and Williams looks pretty solid. Can Pistole hang on? Meanwhile, Chris Owens coming out of 4. Chris Owens gonna win the Michigan 175. What a job. Walker second, Ratliff third, Torgerson. Here comes Ripka. There's Valley, and then the battle. Look at this. Williams on the bottom. Pistole winding up on the high side. Weiss down there as well, and I think he loses both of them. So Pistole finishes back in 9th. Wow, big things for Michael Walker and Chris Owens. They're going to be looking good in the points. What a job by Owens. A great run. He makes it back-to-back wins, Jared.
Yeah, what a job. And you know, that's the thing, Dean. We have 2 races left to go after tonight. And at the end of the day, Chris Owens needs every single point he can get, and he got maximum here tonight. At least 5-point advantage over Michael Walker, gained over the second place car. But I have to talk about Wes Pistole. I mean, you talk about needing to be the closer tonight. He was on the back of Royce Valley. The car started to get loose. And Ross Weiss and Klaus Williams, I don't know team affiliations, but they pounced, and instead of trying to pass Royce Valley for 6th, he ends up finishing 9th. That is not the way the 98 machine wanted to come out of Michigan.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Walker got around Ratliff and gained a point. So, there's a swing there of about 4 or 5 points, Jared. They're going to be huge.
Yeah, and you look back, when we leave Homestead, and it comes down to 4 or 5 points, we might point to the last 2 laps of Michigan, Dean.
Well, why don't we take a quick look here at our updated championship standings. Now, these are unofficial. Please don't harass me, but we got Walker out front by 3 points over Pistole. Torgerson 10 back of Pistole, and then Jason Ratliff, he's 15 out of first. Chris Owens, he gained some here for sure. He's within 20 now. So those 5 drivers are your main contenders now, and it's going to be a great battle with 2 to go, Jared.
Yeah, it is, and especially if we get 28 car fields like we had tonight. Some drivers got caught up in some stuff, but that is a massive night for Chris Owens. I mean, he gained at least 4 points, maybe 5 points, based on the math here tonight, Dean, and that's huge as we have 2 races left going into Kansas and Homestead to finish this thing off.
Can't wait. Right now, let's go to a commercial break, and we'll talk to our top 3 finishers. All right, that was a quick look at the new iRacing Arcade. I know Jared's excited for this one.
I think it could be fun. I did play the demo a little bit. I had an enjoyable time with it, no lie. So I for what it is marketed to be, I think it's going to be really fun.
I'll tell you this, and I, as an adult, I'll probably play it too. But as a kid, Jared, of whatever, 7 to 15 years old or something, man, I would love that. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get into some race interviews here tonight as we bring in the Rifleman, Jason Ratliff, 3rd place here this evening. Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you, dude.
I mean, Michigan, man, she's a fickle little thing, isn't it, Jason? How'd the car feel? It's hard to dominate Michigan, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You can save your tires and pull away, and I think we did from that first kind of long green flag run after a while. But that dirty air was rough too.
Yeah, it was, but I'm going to touch on something else. That green flag stop, Jason, you came in, I believe, in 3rd place. You came out in 1st. Did you think, oh boy, here we go. We're going to victory lane?
Yeah, I had my hopes up. So I don't know, I tried to save a little bit of tire, but I probably went too easy. And then when Chris got by, tried too hard to keep up, and yeah, he just had the car tonight, so props to him.
And we were watching the lines out there, Jason, and it seemed, it was very interesting. A car length here, a car width, I should say, here or there, and the car reacted differently from either not being able to get the power down or being able to get the power down and getting this almost downhill run at times.
Yeah, I seen people do that in 1 and 2, and I did it once or twice, and it felt good, but I just didn't have enough practice to really keep doing it. And I tried it, and I think I was coming out of the corner too low, and just gotten it loose. So yeah, it's an art, and some people had it down tonight, and I felt like we did pretty well.
Yeah, you did great, Jason, and you keep in this points battle. We got 2 races left. We got 5 competitors involved here. How you feeling about this? I mean, this could be an exciting one.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Gained some points on Wesley tonight. Lost some to Chris and Mr. Walker there, so that's to be expected. But yeah, I feel pretty confident. I'm gonna start practicing up for these next 2 races, so I'll come in with a little bit more experience, hopefully.
All right, and hopefully you're getting a little bit of sleep these days, Jason. If I have it.
Yeah, yeah. Sleep is my friend, so I get it when I can.
All right, my friend. Well, congrats on third place, man. We'll turn it over to you. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys up at the booth for putting on a good broadcast. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, Alive Church, Kylou Glass for sponsoring this series, and um, Jason Brantley and East Coast Web Printers for sponsoring Thursday nights. I'd like to thank my teammates, United Motorsports. Congrats to Michael Walker on second. He's my teammate as well, and all the all the people that make this thing run behind the scenes, week in week out. It's always a blast coming here and racing. So I'm very appreciative and thankful of that.
All right, Jared, that's third place finisher. Jason, the Rifleman Ratliff.
And I'm down here with our new point leader, Michael Walker the second. Michael, great run tonight. I mean, you started on pole, at, and I'll be honest, I wasn't here for the beginning part of the race, do some other things, but looked like you figured out some stuff at the end, but just didn't have enough for Chris Owen tonight.
Yeah, he was really in his own little zip code there tonight.
Yeah, and you talk about Michigan. It looked like the car was really hard. It was really hard to pass other cars, especially on the bottom. Looked like you were a couple times you worked over Jason Ratliff there, and the car kind of broke away from you. How did you finally get that move done?
He uh he actually broke loose, I think, on turn 2 exit, and it was borderline wrecking loose. So thankfully, I wasn't any closer than what it was. We probably would have been tangled up there, but that allowed me to get to his outside, and I think he gave me the space to clear him in the next corner.
Well, Michael, I mean, we're down to 2 races left now. It's got to be weighing on your mind just a little bit. But I do want to bring up something before we talk about the championship. Uh, did you know that you led the league in closing passes?
I heard you guys mention a little bit about that last week. I wasn't sure how that's entirely calculated. I mean, typically I'm more of a long run guy. I don't know what's flipped here in the past 2 weeks. Be more of a short run guy, but that's cool to hear that.
Well, you picked up another one. You grabbed that spot from Jason Ratliff there at the end. You're officially now the point leader, 5 points over West Pistol. We got 2 races left, Kansas and Homestead. Michael, I mean, it's there in your hands. How are you feeling with the pressure that's building with these last 2 races?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to show up and do my best. I mean, and to be honest with you, with where uh, after practice last night, I was pretty discouraged. I just didn't have a good feel, and come in tonight just hoping to, if I could just finish somewhere between 8th and 12th, I would have taken that at the start of this race. So to have uh, to have had the night turn out the way it did was really uh, best case scenario for me.
Well, Michael, congrats on the runner-up finish. I know you're looking for the top step of the podium here as we end up head toward the end of the season, but I want to turn the mic over to you and let you have the last word on your race here this evening.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. Again, appreciate all you guys do for us. Y'all put on a quality broadcast. We're of course very grateful for Kylou Glass stepping up this season, along with East Coast Web Printers and a live church. These cars have been a blast, and I think the field counts are showing it. I think we're averaging somewhere in the mid 20s here. So these cars they really are a ton of fun to drive.
All right, Dean, that was our runner-up here tonight, Michael Walker II, our new point leader.
Yeah, he is. And the guy on his heels is with me in victory lane. That's the 26, Chris Owens, making it 2 in a row. Congratulations, Chris.
Appreciate it, guys. That was a fun one for sure. Hard fought there, having to get around probably one of the best guys in this car in this league, Jason and Michael. But that was a lot of fun.
Let's talk about that. I mean, I found it wildly interesting. You guys all pit together, green flag style. Jason Ratliff comes from third to first, and you're thinking, oh no, right? Like, now I got to go to get around this guy. What were you thinking?
Man, when we came out of the pits there, I wasn't expecting him to beat me because I felt like I did everything right, and he just came out of me. I don't know what happened there. It was one of those he had a better pit crew, but yeah, I threw it on the bottom there a couple laps later and managed to get around him, and honestly was surprised that it worked.
Well, I'll give you some inside information there, Chris. The pit lane time was about a 44.7 for him and about a 46 something for you. I don't know how that explains it or where that comes from when you're all right in front of each other, but nonetheless, it happened. Now you got to get around them. Were you concerned that you were overdriving the machine, trying to get that spot back?
Well, a little bit. It was weird. I never felt like the tires wore, and the first run that we did was 35 laps or so, and I felt like in that stint we were pushing way harder than we did in the second one. So I'm really confused and surprised by everything
Well,
that happened there.
to your point, we had a wreck there. Now, there was only a couple laps on the tires, to be truthful, but it said pit stop on lap 11 for you and a bunch of others, and then on 16 for everybody else came in. None of those guys moved forward. Not one of them moved forward past anybody who did not pit. So it's very interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for sure. It was difficult to pass there, and I noticed that right away in our mock start that we do in practice. It felt very hard to pass, and I felt like I needed to be out front. And good thing I qualified second, started up front, because it felt like it was going to be very difficult to pass, and you were going to have to time your passes, and when you got the opportunity, you were going to have to take it. Otherwise, there's no chance that you'd get it again.
Well, speaking of taking it here, Chris, you came in, you were on the outside looking in a couple of races ago. 2 consecutive victories. We got 2 races remaining. You're one of 5 guys who are really in this thing. I mean, you're going to have to run the table maybe, Chris. Is that something you feel you can get done?
Well, we're going to 2 tracks that I enjoy a lot, Kansas and Homestead. So we'll see. I feel pretty confident going to Kansas next week that we can do it again. We'll see how the cards fall.
Man, it's going to be super interesting. We got the top 5 sitting in points. They're pretty much on the board in the first 5 spots, week in and week out, Chris. You get your work cut out for you, but you're on a roll. We talk about it. Momentum's a real thing. Can't wait to see what you do the rest. But congrats on your 2nd consecutive victory here at Michigan tonight. We'll turn it over to you. Anybody you want to thank or shout out, please do.
Yes, sir. Really want to shout out to Todd and George and all the guys that run this league. Again, it's probably some of the best racing I've ever done in online racing. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Olson, our World of Outlaws late model timing and scoring officials watching with his son tonight. Hopefully they enjoyed it. Give a shout out to a live church, Kylou Glass and East Coast Web Printers for putting on and coming on board and sponsoring one of the best leagues on iRacing. Without them, we wouldn't be on Wind Tunnel, and you guys wouldn't be able to broadcast this awesome racing that we're doing week in and week out. So I really do appreciate all those guys.
Absolutely, we'll second that. Up in the booth, Jared, Chris Owens, 2 in a row. He's in the thick of this thing.
Yeah, you look at it, Dean. The official, points are up, and you look at how this thing is going to go down. I mean, Michael Walker 5 points now ahead of West Pistole. Torgerson a further 15 back. Chris Owens 16 back. Jason Ratliff 17 back. That's your 5 drivers, all with an opportunity. But Dean, every race we move forward, we're going to eliminate some guys, right? And the more drivers that show up, the more chances of elimination. And I think that if you're any of these 5 guys, you have a great opportunity to do it. But it's really right now down to Pistole and Walker for this title, in my opinion.
Well, I tend to disagree, as I usually will. The rifleman, he says he's going to get to practicing. He can be unbeatable at times. Chris Owens says he's coming to a couple of his good tracks. He's on a hot streak. I don't know, Jared. I say we go down to the final race of the season, and it's anybody's ball game. It's gonna be wild for sure.
Yeah, and I'm excited. And that's not to discredit any of the other 3 drivers. I just think that the other 3 drivers have to really step up and go out there and win. And I think you saw tonight, Chris Owens put his stamp out there. He gained 8 points out of this race, right? I mean, that's huge. If he can gain 8 points again next week and 8 points at Homestead, then yeah, he's the title winner, right? So, there's an opportunity, but it's a mountain for Ratliff and Owens to climb and Torgerson to get up there to those top 2. But I think they can do it. I think it's going to be an interesting battle toward the end.
Yeah, I think the thing that I love about it is leading's going to mean something, winning's going to mean something. This is high pressure situations. Mistakes can be made. Going to be entertaining. I hope you all tune in like you did tonight. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Jared Carr, that's going to wrap it up from Michigan International Speedway. And we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.